Hey guys, welcome back to episode 11 to Double the Hustle podcast. I'm Tori.
And I'm Anna, and today we sit down with Mike Press, a serial entrepreneur. He was in one of Beyonce's music videos and a content creator. We talk about how he went from being in front of the camera as an actor to now behind the camera and creating content. Come on, let's take a listen. You want to talk about like your background, where you come from, how you got
started
in
content?
Yeah. I'll go through the whole gambit of my whole story, and you'll find that it's kind of wild. But nah, guys, my name is Mike Press. I'm from Mount Vernon, New York, just like Dave Regina is. And I've always been in entertainment of some form of fashion. So it all started probably in like 2006 it started, when I started out modeling when I was in like college. I'm out here doing fashion shows at the club. Like it was wild. And I was like 135 pounds. It was wearing bathing suits. It looked real bad. When I look back at it, it looked real bad. But there was always something about being in front of a camera. There was always something about that lifestyle that always attracted me. So went from North Carolina, moved back to New York. The first job that I ever got was in a Beyonce video.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I was her boyfriend in Best Thing I Never Had.
No way.
Yeah. So that was the first thing. And then I thought, yo, I made it. I'm on right now.
Everything else is going to be...
I was on nothing. I was actually on the couch watching the video every day, getting texts every day, and wasn't doing anything. Like I got paid $500 for it, right? Yeah. And I was like, great. But this was at a time where I graduated college. I didn't want to do what I went to college for anymore. And I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So I dove more into the modeling scene in New York, did well, and then transitioned into acting on TV. So I was on shows on NBC. I was on shows on CBS, did a couple film festivals, and it was great there too. I was like, something about to hit.
Yeah.
So I really fell in love with theater. So I had auditioned for a play, and this was the play. I was like, it's about to go up after this. COVID hit.
Did you get to do the play or no? No, it never even happened.
Went down. So at that point, I was like, I think I'm done. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
And during that time, I was always working in fitness at SoulCycle, spin studio. So I was able to make so many connections there and really maneuver my way through things. But from 2022 to 2024, it was kind of like a limbo period. I was just doing SoulCycle, and I was like, this isn't enough.
Yeah.
So at the time, I created a brand called 24 New York. And when I created that with my partners at the time, that was like the thing that like gave me like the energy. It was a clothing brand. We turned it into a sneaker store, 2 stores in the city, and it was great.
Cool.
Then I moved on from that. Then I was like, okay, that chapter's done. Then when that chapter was done, I was back in this place where I was like, what do I do?
What do I do? Yeah.
So then I just kept playing around with this social media thing, because I was always watching people do stuff. So I ended up starting my own podcast, and then ended up having a show underneath VaynerMedia called Bold Entrepreneurs, where we would...
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah, so it was like we would sit down with entrepreneurs of all different ranges, and we would sit down over a bowl of cereal.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's really cool.
So it was like a thing where you had to like finish the bowl of milk before the show ended. Not everybody did it.
Yeah.
But it was fun because it gave you a nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
Where we all know what it feels like to eat cereal on a Saturday morning, watch cartoons, things like that. But you'll be shocked to know how many people didn't eat cereal. So we'd be like, oh, what's your favorite cereal? And they're like, Raisin Bran. Get the hell out of here.
Come
you
on.
You had one job.
Something better than that.
Right. Or you saw
Make
how...
this exciting.
Right, exactly. And you would see how people would get like judgy about your choice of cereal. Yeah. So if they said something like my judgy cereal was Captain Crunch.
Wow.
Okay.
If people said
See, I'm
Captain
surprised. I hate Captain Crunch.
Good. We on the same type of time. But if somebody said Captain Crunch, I'm like, so you just sitting in the house all day like this, just all day long, just getting stuff up out your teeth. But I just fell in love again with the content creation because you can be so creative with it.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it was.
That's we always talk about that. That's even the thing it's Gary talks about all the time. And he's like, you should start a podcast like while brushing your teeth
in the morning,
and it'll go
Like, and they
crazy
have to-
because
yeah.
everybody's gonna be like, who's brushing
Everyone
their
brushes
teeth?
their teeth though in the morning, and they'll be like,
Everybody does it, and
Yeah.
and the thing about it's attention seeking.
yeah,
Because how are you supposed to talk clearly while you're brushing your teeth? And think about how long do you brush your teeth for?
yeah.
90 seconds?
Yeah, like
You gonna make a whole show out of that? Sure am. Round 5.
it's gonna take me. I'm gonna go through a whole bottle of toothpaste
Exactly.
every episode.
So I just really started falling in love with the content creation, and then now where I'm at is I started my own content creation business where I do videography, mainly short form, for speakers, for fitness athletes, for just a real big range of different people. But it's fun because each person is always different.
Yeah.
Each situation is always different as well too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and
is cool.
always meeting new people.
Yeah, that is really cool. I think it's you have to be really creative in a sense, but I feel like that's the fun in it. Like nothing, like there's no wrong answer. You know, like it's like a form of like media where it could just be like anything.
Yeah.
It can be anything, and we're so prone now to content. You think 5 years ago, you never heard the word content.
Yeah.
Now, every conversation you hear, what do you hear? Content, content, content,
Yeah.
content, content.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to create it. Everyone wants to.
Everybody
like,
wants to create, and it's a space that allows you to do that. You can create all day long, whether people like it or not. You have the freedom to do that.
Yeah. Content is huge in a sense, but for business owners, it's the cheapest way because it's free to gain business. But where do you start if you're just starting out a business? Like, do you go and spend $10,000 a month on somebody who's going to edit all your film and follow you every day, or do you start and film your own stuff and look stupid for a little while on social media that you think
What you have to do is first go through the stupid phase. You have to.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that start businesses don't really get in front of a camera. There's no real reason for you to.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest and the scariest thing for a lot of people.
That's the hard. Yeah. People are so scared
It's
of the
just,
camera.
you talk every single day. Put a phone in front of your face. Oh my God. Like you don't know, you
Yeah,
forget how
they
to
don't
do
know what to do.
everything.
Yeah.
You have to get comfortable talking. You have to get comfortable hearing your own voice. You have to get comfortable with your own mannerisms.
Yeah.
That's number one.
That someone said to me, "Is it so weird when you hear someone else play your podcast and you hear your voice?" And I'm like, "No, not really." They're
No,
like,
no.
I hate my voice. I'm like, okay.
Right. But it's yours.
Yeah.
And even though y'all twins, you don't sound like her and you don't sound like her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just gets to a point where you have to break through that phase.
Yeah.
Now, once you break through that phase, what are you going to talk about? And we can all talk about the same thing. We can all talk about motivation and fitness and education and all these different things, business. But the way you bring it is going to be unique to you.
Yeah.
Once you do that, now it's like, okay, what's going to be your form of how you're going to get this out? Is it going to be strictly TikTok? Is it going to be Instagram? Is it going to be LinkedIn? Is it going to be YouTube? Is it going to be X? Like, you have everything plethora to do it, and you can post it on every single one, but you got to start with one. And I've done studies where it's like I've created my own shows, and it was strictly on TikTok. Didn't do it on Instagram, didn't do anywhere else, because I wanted to see what it was like for something to be very organic, starting from zero followers, zero everything, and see how people attract to it. And it works. Not everything translates to other platforms.
Right,
platforms.
yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
mean, you can post it on one, and it's completely does nothing, and then TikTok it like
Right, and it'll
completely
blow
goes-
because TikTok's algorithm is more susceptible for people to find it,
yeah,
opposed to Instagram where it's like mainly your friends.
yeah,
That's really all it is.
Wow, that's really crazy. So if you're trying to start a business and gain a following, you should start it on TikTok.
I would say think about what the business is going to be. So let's take an example. If you're a plumber
Yeah.
and you want to start this business and you want people to find you, right? You have to understand plumbing is not exciting.
right,
It's like nobody's
No one
on
wants to
TikTok
do it,
looking
yeah.
for a plumber.
yeah,
So what do? You have to now be the what? The funny plumber.
Yeah.
You have to now create
Bring a different aspect.
You have to create it from a different aspect. You have to be the guy that takes the common problem and turn it into something funny with a skit.
Yeah.
So now people are going to watch, but then when they click on your link, they find out that you're actually a real plumber.
Yeah.
So it's all about how you reframe everything.
So you should start. You have to look at what you're doing first, and then figure out like where you're gonna start.
Right, because everybody loves information. Social media is the one place now where everybody goes for free information.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
People search on TikTok all day long for something.
Could you imagine
pops
if
up.
you had to pay to post?
Yeah.
You would never do it.
Yeah, no.
You would go broke.
Imagine that's what it gets to. Oh my God.
But this is, and Gary says this all the time, that is the benefit that we have to social.
Exactly.
Is that we get to do it for free.
But people are still scared of it.
People are still scared of it because
Yeah.
they're only scared of
It's
themselves.
crazy. Yeah.
Like we're here, dope studio, camera there,
Yeah.
and they could be just sitting there looking at themselves the whole time talking.
Scared,
like,
yeah.
well, do I look right when
Yeah.
I talk? Like it doesn't matter
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
because you're judging you.
Yeah.
No
You could
one
be
else is
sitting.
doing that.
I could be sitting across from you, sitting across from me, and it's just like, yo, this dude is dope. Yo, they so dope. And internally, you're like, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think that a lot of people are scared of it, and it's free, but I feel like there's also so much like saturation. You know, so it's like you have to find your way through it in a sense, in terms of like getting through all like the shit that's in like social media.
Finding your
So
place.
like
Yeah.
where do you like start in terms of like just putting out content like a strategy in terms of like for somebody, like where would they start? Do they post on every platform, everything right away, or
Because social media is so big, it's overwhelming. So if I have a client come in and they've never done this before, which I have, I say, you're going to start with 2 posts a week.
okay.
One at the beginning of the week, one at the end of the week. Why? Because everything in the middle allows you space to let it breathe.
Breathe.
You take a person that's never done this before and be like, all right, I need you to have an aggressive plan where you're posting 4 times a week. They don't even know how to
They're gonna
post.
fail.
They don't even know how to post.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'd rather shoot it, but now having to actually post it every
Post
single
it
thing.
and-
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to start with getting the consistency of doing the minimum first.
Yeah.
Do 2
It's the
posts.
same thing with what we talked about, Dave, with the routine.
Yeah.
You're not gonna just jump into everything.
Yeah, you're not just
Yeah.
jumping out and because everyone is also looking for the viral moment.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that
yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to gain anything from a viral moment.
But a viral moment is different for everyone.
That's
So,
true. Yeah, what do you what's
Right. What do you
viral to
consider
you?
a viral
Yeah,
moment, right?
exactly.
So you can come in, do a video, and your first video hits 5,000 people and 5,000 views come in. That's going to blow you away.
Right.
That's your viral moment.
Yeah, true.
But to some, they want 1.6 million, 2.7 million. You have no real tracking of how that's going to happen.
Right.
Because you can do everything, the trending audio, the hashtag, the right thing, the right color, the right this, and it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
So it's really luck and consistency. Luck and consistency. Because people have to know why they're on your page.
yeah.
Right.
Are they coming to your page for one of 2 things, information or comedy? There's nothing else.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's big because even if you do get a viral hit, I mean, like you've had some like big
I've had a few,
things
like, online.
on the dog
my dog
page,
page, yeah.
but I
You
feel
got a
like
dog page?
even
Yeah.
What you do on the dog page? Hold up.
I'm going to school to be a veterinarian, but my
Word.
parents have been breeding for 20 years. So we breed American Bullies and French Bulldogs. And I've had a few viral moments, like a few, like million, whatever.
Yeah.
But like one of them hit like 1 million plus and got me like 500 followers. The other one was like 1 million plus and got me like,
two.
yeah, like nothing at all. So
Yep.
like it really, and one of them was like, my editor like actually edited the reel and I was like giving out information, which probably got me like 800 followers probably like 2 weeks ago. The other one was like the dog sitting on a couch, had its like ass up in the air and it was hilarious. Got 1 million views, 2 followers. It was
But
like
you know what the key word that you said was.
the education,
Value.
the value.
You were giving information. Information will get you followers.
Yeah.
Comedy will get you likes and views.
Oh. See?
Because somebody's always going to come back for more information.
Yeah.
The laugh is just kind of like if I
funny.
fall into it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the page like, yo, I need a laugh.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, that is-
the laugh
wow.
just naturally happens if you come across it. Think about how many things you share, right? You don't go looking for it. You just stumble upon it.
Yeah.
But the thing that you want to know about, you save it and you go back to it, you screenshot it, you write it down, you chat GBT it. Don't act like you don't. Like that's what the information is, and that's what it
No,
does.
it's true. It's really true. Wow.
Yeah, I think that is because, but even on social media, like it's so, I try to like train my algorithm to like feed me like good things because I don't want to see like anything that's like not.
She always says that. Like, I'm having a
trying-
video and she's like, stop.
I'm like, go
looking at
past
that."
it, go past it, because if you stop on it, that's what it's going to show you
Yeah.
more of.
Yeah.
I'm just like, keep going. That's bad. Like,
So
what do you want to stop on that?
Here's the funny thing right now with my page on Instagram. When I go to my my explore page, right? This is what's on my explore page right now. I looked at one video of this chick Bonnie Blue, right? I looked at one video. My whole page is this. The whole explore page
That's
is
what
this.
she yells at.
And I'm like, so now what do I do?
Now what? Yeah.
Like, I can't even be on the phone near people. Like, can you search? No.
No. Don't.
Tell me the name.
Let's at the beginning of every podcast, everybody show their explore video, know what they've been
But
looking at.
that's a funny thing to do.
Yeah, that's
that is a
hilarious.
funny thing to do, and it's a good thing for you guys to do now. Like if
Yeah.
you do it,
Yeah.
and it's like everybody has to put their phone to the camera.
Yeah, I mean we should.
Boys,
because
be wild in here.
I try to, like I said, I try to train mine. Mine's like I want to see like a G-Wagon or something when I look at my explore page, or something that's gonna like
You got a-
motivate me
you
to
got a
like
Volkswagen.
keep.
You got a Volkswagen.
I want to like keep going, but like so I try, but sometimes like you said, like you stop on things
Right.
that are like crazy, and then it just goes right to your explore
Yeah.
page. You're like, I don't even want this
I
here.
don't
Like,
even want this. So here's a question I have for you guys.
yeah.
Being that you guys are new to podcasting, it seems like you have your own separate thing that you guys do.
Yeah.
How do you guys function separately within social media?
So Tor is going to school to be a vet,
Mm-hmm.
and then I sell real estate
Hmm.
in Long Island. So we just like that. They have their own like separate pages, and then
Mm-hmm.
Tor. We started the podcast because she was like, you know, like we have to do something together. Like we're twins. We have to like capitalize on like what we have. We have like our bond. Like we are like inseparable. Like we do everything together. All of our business deals are like together because we
Yeah.
know what like
You know
we
what's
want.
up.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go get like a random business partner on the street when like
Yeah.
I have, you know, Tor next to me who I could just be like, yo, you want to do this? Will you put some money in and like, let's do it, you know? So that's why we started the podcast essentially, because we wanted to do something together and wanted to capitalize on like on social media, like just doing something together with like business and entrepreneurs and
And I think it shows the difference in you two, right? Because I think people are always fascinated with twins,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, triplets, quadruplets, and all that kind of stuff. Because even though you guys look very identical, you guys are in two different worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you come together for one thing, and your personalities show like subtly, like a lot. So how far apart are you guys?
11 minutes.
11 minutes? Damn.
a long time.
Y'all, who get mad at the birthday? Like, hey, wait 10 minutes.
Hey, yeah, it's how
Let
your
me get
time,
my
yeah.
shine for 10
Mine's
minutes.
first.
And I always like doing this because I like to get to know like
Yeah.
whoever I'm on is like,
Yeah.
what do you admire about each other?
I think I admire that. I admire like that you like stuck to like school, like I did.
Oh, like
Tor's still
okay.
in school, like going for it, and I would like love to do that. I just like think that it's a complete waste of time and money. Not really time, because I would go back if I had the money just to go back for
Yeah.
fun, just to learn something. But like, I think that's what I admire, because it's just like you're going to get like your master's and like that's cool. Like I don't want to like. I would like to like finish my college degree before I have kids, because I don't want them to ever look back and be like, well, you didn't go to school, you know, like those
It's
kids
the
that
worst.
like
Mad as hell.
like, well, you didn't, so I don't have to, and I'll
Can't
be
say
like,
nothing.
no, you're right, you know.
So what about you?
No, I think, to be honest, I admire, like, I think you got me into, like, discipline and routine, like, a lot. she was always like the person to be like, do you want to go work out? Do you want to run? And I'll be like, no. And then she'd go for the run. I'd be like catching up because like as a twin, like we talk about this, but like as a twin, if she does something, I feel like I have to do it. So like we're very competitive in that way. So like she'll like drag me if I don't want to go. So it's like kind of good because like you're doing it anyway, even though like you don't want to because you feel like you have to.
It's so competitive. Did you do sports growing up or no?
Yeah, so I ran track in high school.
Oh, cool.
My whole thing like came crashing down in high school.
Okay.
I had a heart murmur, and I had
no.
Yeah, and I had a scholarship to go to Baylor in Texas. And
No.
I had to get my time down 2 seconds. And my senior year of high school, I played soccer in the fall, played basketball in the winter. And right around January, February, when I was getting ready for indoor track, my school randomly wants to do physicals this year. And I'm like, I'll never do this. Like, what's going on?
But
And they found it, and they basically benched me.
Told you that you couldn't.
Yeah. And they benched me all the way until April. And they wouldn't let me practice. They wouldn't let me run, nothing. So it altered a lot of how I moved for college.
Yeah.
Because I was an average student. It was I was a C average student.
Yeah, it's not like.
And I didn't really think about school because I had Baylor. And Baylor retracted because I couldn't.
Because you couldn't get your time down.
Because I couldn't get my time down. And I had to like figure out like where I was going. My SATs weren't good. My ACT was okay.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going to a college in North Carolina strictly because my girlfriend was going.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was
So
it.
it was like, oh, wow. That's crazy. But that's really cool that you didn't know you had a heart murmur until then.
Never
It
knew.
didn't affect your sport?
Nope.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's like my heartbeat, if it was just like, my shit was
Jumping all over the
my
place.
shit was drumline.
Wow.
Yeah.
And still to this day, like if you listen to my heartbeat, you'll still hear it.
Really? Huh. Do they say it'll ever go away? Or it could, right? Like it could like, I don't know.
They do, but
They do, right?
I don't know, but we still good over here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So do you think like in your life, like sports has like done like anything for you? Like discipline or like.
Yeah, because soccer and basketball is a team sport. Track is a singular sport. The only time you're a team is when you do relays. But my sport, my meet was the 400 hurdles. So in a sense, it's
crazy.
the
I don't think I
hardest.
could
It's
ever.
the hardest thing to do because you have to sprint and
So
jump at the
quickly.
same
Jump at the-
time.
Yeah.
So my time when I was a senior was 56 seconds and
Damn.
0.8 of a second.
My God.
I had to get it down to like a 54.
That's a lot of time in a runner, right? Like 2 seconds. That's a lot.
It's hard to get
Okay.
down like those 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget I was in Somers running. That was when I got like the 56.8, and I was like so hype. I was like, this is it. I'm up from here.
Yeah.
But it taught me how to operate on my own. It taught me how to
Yeah, that's
operate.
different because we played basketball and then we rode, and that's been a team sport. We've never played.
Yeah, it teaches you how to operate on your own will. Think of it like this: like a lot of people do pre-workout, right?
Yeah.
I just go. I've tried it before, but I don't see the difference because
Right.
I've always just been regimented to just go.
Yeah.
When you run track, it's ready, set, go. There's no like, let's get hype.
No.
You wait.
It's like you at the starting line, only you.
You wait patiently
Yeah.
and as calmly as you can, even though you have all the nerves running around inside of you.
Yeah, that's
In
That's
the
gotta be
shot of
hard.
a gun, you
just
burst
go.
everything out.
Yeah.
So it's a very patient sport. So it teaches you how to handle pressure under control. And you have to fight because you're going to get to a certain point in that track where things are going to start to come up.
Yeah.
First turn, you're always good. Second turn, you're okay. Third turn is where you get scared. Because unless you're trained to hold out for a certain amount of time, that third turn is where everybody gets lost. And the people that fight is where they come around and win.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. I don't think I could ever do that. Like those hurdles always like scared me. Like I just looking at them, like I don't even know how people do that. I don't even know how you like start doing that or like run and like jump over this, like which leg goes where, how to get it up and over. Like I would just hit the thing and probably fall over. Like
my first meet,
honestly.
and I still have scratches on my legs. My first meet, I jumped over the hurdle, missed the ground. My right leg came down, scraped my left leg, fell to the ground, and all you heard was, oh! I was like, yeah, this is not going to go well.
That would be me. So, like, I can't even, like, that doesn't, you wear cleats? Or no? Like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I
they
couldn't.
cleats.
Yeah.
They metal.
Yeah.
They metal. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool, though.
Yeah, it taught me a lot, and it gave me the start to understanding what discipline is.
Yeah.
Do you think it's translated into like your business now that you've started a business?
Yeah. The thing that has always been instilled in me is get up early. So even as a baby, I was always up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So now I've even pushed it back to now I get up at 4, no matter what day it is. There's no like I wake up late on the weekend. Like I'm up at 4 and I'm doing something at 4. Like I'll edit videos and send it to people at 4 in the morning. And they're like, why are you up? And they're like, why are you up? I'm like, my peaceful time.
Same time while you're up.
Right. You responded. But
That's a crazier question.
My peaceful time is 4 to 6 a.m. There's no one else up. It's quiet. It's silent. And I can bang out so much stuff in those 2 hours so that by the time 7 a.m. comes, I can chill out. Then I go teach a class for like 45 minutes. And then from there, I probably go back home, edit some more, or do something in between the day. And then I'll probably teach again at night.
Like
Soul
Cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So just as everybody has their routine, my routine allows me a lot of space.
Yeah.
But I have to be very specific because I can get it can be very chilling sometimes. Like, oh, I ain't got nothing to do today. Yeah, you do. There's always something.
There's always something to do.
There's something to do. So,
So that's cool though. That's cool that you have like two things. Like we were talking about with Dave. Like he has two things that like something that holds him grounded, and then something that he's like always working on. So like that's.
But
that's
I'll
cool
and I'll be honest. Like Dave and I have had many a conversation where I'm doing too much and not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
So
Like trying to do so many things and like trying to maximize everything, but you can't. Like
if you say, "Oh, I know Mike Press," right? It depends on who you're talking to because they're gonna tell you a different thing. Like, "Oh yeah, he DJs, right?" No, I thought he was soul cycling. Wait, no, I thought he did videos. Oh no, I thought he did this. Like it depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
So I had to really condense down what it is that I do. And DJing, yes, it is something that I do. I'm great at it. I'm good at it. It's fun. But I have to understand, how far do I want to go with that? Am I trying to be at Coachella killing it? No, because that's a different type of...
Mike Press is the headline.
Right. It's a different type of commitment.
yeah.
And that type of commitment, I don't really want.
Yeah.
I don't really want to be out 4 in the morning, like playing all night long.
Yeah.
You give me nice, good 2-3 hours. I'm straight.
Yeah.
But I had to be like, okay, this is the lane I'm going to take that in. Because I also know, one, I have a 7-month-old daughter.
Oh, cool.
So it's like, I ain't trying to be out all night. Right?
You get home and she's like screaming.
She's still up.
Right. And what's the longevity?
Yeah.
What's the lifeline?
Yeah.
I can do video and content all the time. I can hire people to do video and content all the time.
Right.
I can't hire Mike Press to DJ.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, that is cool. I DJ'd for a little while when I was young.
Yeah.
I did it. Yeah, it was. I went to like a whole.
DJ
I could
Twin.
just see like little pimp Anna just like going to DJ class or like my music board, just like it was.
She wanted a new one.
Like
Like
it was really cool.
I need
It was
a different one. This
actually
one's not
really
good
fun.
anymore.
Yeah, it was. It's a very expensive hobby to have, but it was really cool. They had like on Long Island, they have like a little like DJ school, and like we would go there like once a week, and we would just like
Kill it.
yeah. Yeah, it's just like, so it was fun too. Like, and everybody in school would be like, you do DJ lessons? I'm like, yeah, like, thought I was like this shit.
It gave you the clout. You was like, I'm on.
It was cool. I don't regret it, but I had like a huge DJ board, and it had like all the spinners, and like, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun for a minute.
Then you're like, this ain't it.
Yeah. The DJ school closed down, and I was like,
Now what?
yeah,
This is what I had.
they just left us in the dust. Like, they just like closed shop, and I was like, damn, like, where else am I supposed to go now? The guy's like, well, like, I'm doing it in my garage now. I'm like, no
I don't
way.
get no points
I'll
for the
stick to
garage.
myself.
I get no points for the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stick to practicing on my own. But it was really cool. It's fun. I enjoyed it. It was for a minute, maybe like a year. And then I gave up on it.
Yeah.
I sold
was doing basketball at that point.
I sold everything.
Yeah.
It was out. But that's really cool. That's fun. But back to social media. What is like, what's the biggest thing that like you feel like people like miss when they're doing social media? Like when they're trying to create something or trying to build up their business, like what, like, is that one thing that like they're missing that like you think could like help people who are listening?
Story. A lot of times people post just to post, to say that
true.
they did it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Even me,
literally
I'm
they
just
do
like,
that.
I got to get a post out for today.
Right.
Hold up.
Because people like Gary like post 5 times a day, and then they're
Right.
like,
But if you're trying to create something, you have to create the story of what this looks like. Social media, your page is like a trailer, like a movie trailer, right? Depending on what people see in that, they're going to click your trailer to watch it.
right.
And if they like it, they're going to like it. They're going to follow you because they want to keep coming back to this movie all the time.
Right.
So I think people miss the mark a lot of time on storytelling and what it is that they're trying to convey in a way that keeps people attentive.
Yeah.
If you don't have the attentiveness, you just
People are gonna swipe away.
right.
Yeah.
And we only have, it's true, we only have a small like window of
is it, like,
how much we'll watch
I
something.
think sometimes like the
of,
first
like-
3 seconds or like not
And
even
you
right.
feel it.
Yeah.
There's a visceral feeling that you feel when you're watching a video and you're like, yeah, I'm not interested.
No,
And
yeah.
I go.
Yep.
And you move on to the next thing and you're like, huh. Like that is when you have somebody, when they do this.
Right. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a-
And you
like
can
a
watch.
dog head tilt. Like,
And if you watch people on their phones, just wait for it and you'll just see and that's how you know that post
got
has
it.
them.
Yeah.
And they'll watch it for as long as it's going to be. So the storytelling and the attentiveness has to always be there. And I think that's a lot of time what people miss.
Bryce says the same thing. Like he just says like, tell your story like every day, like over and over and over and over, so that it like gets out there and
Because you
people,
tell it different every time. and
yeah,
then, yeah.
so that
Tell it
people
different
see
every time, and you haven't reached every single person.
Right.
Yeah.
You've only reached, we think that because we see the same people liking it.
Yeah.
But what about the person that just watched it and didn't like it? You have no idea, right?
Right.
You can have a post that has 200 likes but has 10,000 views. You don't know who the 10,000 people are.
Yeah.
No clue who they are. But you know all those 200 people.
Right.
So storytelling and attentiveness.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's really cool because, like you said, a lot of people just get. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm guilty of it. So just like posting to post because I want to be consistent, kind of thing. So do you think that's bad, essentially? Like posting to post because you want to
Yeah.
be consistent, but without.
Yeah.
Intention.
Because
Yeah.
it's blind posting, right? You can do that to say you're consistent, but you're actually not being consistent because your consistency aligns with the story that you're trying to
Value.
tell.
Yeah.
So if your story is, let's just say, two twins that is trying to grow their channel to 100,000 subscribers in 30 days, right? And everything so far that you have been posting has been that journey every single day. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You miss a day and then it's just a video of y'all two playing basketball.
Right.
Huh? Like,
Yeah.
like when you go through it, you're like, well, what's
hell
that?
Well, they
happened?
gave up.
Well,
Like,
right. I guess they gave up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
see that
then-
all the time for people who start like,
Yeah.
like 75 day hard. That just comes to my mind. But like people will like start with like day 1, day 2, day 3, and then I'm just like, oh, I guess they failed.
And just as much as you forget about it, they forgot about it. And they move on to the next thing that they're going to try. So yeah.
That's really cool. I never thought about, like you said, do you, like Gary like always says like post.
Yeah.
But do you think that's like watering your page down in a sense? Or like,
I think his is like more just like urgency to get people to post. Because like he posts that a lot too, but like
But he also has.
he actually splits up his reels into actual value. You know
But
what
he
I'm saying?
has the bandwidth and the engagements to do that.
Right.
His speaking engagement, one speaking engagement for Gary can probably give him tons amounts of content that he pushes across different platforms.
Right.
Right. But if you're just posting blindly just to post, if it's not within the constructs of what your story is, it doesn't make
Someone
sense.
else is going to be like, oh, okay. And
They're
move on.
lost.
Yeah.
And they don't know why they're following you
Right.
anymore.
That is crazy. How'd you land the job at the
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I had the store, and at the time, Ashley was like let's just say she was the person that got all the talent. Not a recruiter, but she was like the person that was pointed
Looking
to
at-
get right. So she had came down to the store and was just like, oh, we heard about this store. Like, is Mike here? And I was never there. Every time she came, I was never there. So the one day she comes, I was there. And I said to her, I said, hey, do you have 5 minutes? And she was like, for what? I was like, I want to talk to you like further. And she goes, well, I don't, but I'm meeting my friend for lunch. I could come back and maybe like around like 1. I said, great, come back at 1. All I need is 5 minutes. Within those 5 minutes, I literally pitched her. I said, look, I'm looking to be a part of a show, or I'm looking to start a show.
Okay.
These are the things that I've done. This is what I'm good at. And I don't know what you have available right now, but if there is something, I would like to be a part of it. And she just stared at me like this. And I was like, oh, I went too far. I was like, oh, I did a little too much here. Mike,
She doesn't know what to say.
Right. I got a call from her a week later. I said, hey, Mike, we have an idea for this show. Would you come in and do a screen test for it? Sure, no problem. Me in the back room.
Yeah.
I got off the phone like, yeah, I landed it. It wasn't too much.
Right.
Damn.
Right. So I go upstairs, do the first screen test, went great. And they go, hey, we want to do another one. This time it's going to be with the CEO. It wasn't Gary, it was another guy.
Okay.
Name was Ryan, and
Damn.
it was because underneath Vayner there's different brands. So I do just like what we're doing here today, and I got the job. And I asked them, I said, so what was it? They said, the fact that you were able to, one, ask questions, have charisma, be funny, and not overplay everything is what landed it. Because
So just you, basically.
right, I was just me.
Be you.
I was me. And when I have conversation, it doesn't matter who I'm talking to. I want it to be that. Not
Right.
question, answer. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to talk.
Yeah, Right. like-
We're going to laugh. We're going to joke. We're going to give like experiences and stories. And a lot of the times what I find is that when people do podcasts, when people do conversations, interviews, it's, so tell me about this.
Right. And then you give an answer. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. So, and when I see that, I'm like, you didn't even hear anything they said.
Right.
Because they could have literally said, like, I killed my cat when I was 7. You'd be like, great, that's awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Next thing. Yeah.
And they're just
Right.
robots, and they're just
Yeah.
moving through. You have to have a form of listening capability.
Yeah.
Because as hosts, as what you guys will find out is that you have to listen and formulate the next question in seconds.
Right.
And if you zone out, you'll know.
Done. Yeah.
You'd be right there, like,
Hello.
and then you got to catch up.
Yeah.
Right.
So I encourage any person that's going to podcast or want to do interviews on red carpets, anything like that, get very good at listening.
That's really cool because we had another guest on the podcast, and he is the co-host of another podcast, and he was like, I love coming on podcasts, like because you basically sit there and you get interviewed, you get asked the questions. He was like, I love coming on them. It's just so much easier. He goes, and then I started a podcast. He goes, and it was so much harder. He goes, I just sat there and I
Didn't know what to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
was like,
People think it's easy, and you have to have a level of listening and knowing how to ask the right question at the right time.
Right.
It's not just I follow my script to the T, because your script to the T may be very boring.
So yeah.
And if you're not in the actual conversation to ask something, just like how I asked you, I was like, so like, what do you admire about each other?
Yeah.
Because I was genuinely curious.
Yeah.
And if you're not curious, you're not going to get real answers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that it brings out like the
conversation,
Like-
it needs to flow. It doesn't-
yeah, exactly. It's not. I agree on that. Like question, because it gets like boring. Like who just wants to sit and like
Yeah.
hear us ask you about you know, like even though like we had you on the podcast, like it's still like everybody wants to hear like banter. You know, like they want to hear like people go back and forth and like any podcast that I listen to, I feel like one of them is.
Yeah.
A question. Like it's like a real estate based podcast, and it just like goes on about like how you can be better in sales. But like another one is just like banter about like you know, just like literally anything, you know. So I think that that's really cool. But I think that a lot of people, I feel like want to get to that position of like you just landed the job at Vayner, like. Based off of like just being in a store. And I feel like that's a lot of people, like if you talk to people, that's like where they want to be. But oftentimes like it comes like unexpected.
Yeah.
You know, like when you don't like
Not
see
looking
it
for
coming
it,
or
yeah.
aren't looking for it or.
But you always got to be ready. The
Yeah.
opportunity will
Yeah.
come,
Right.
and that was my opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this was a guy that I watched all the time. This was a guy that I tried to follow all the things and the tips. And here he is. What a representative from him is here talking to me.
Yeah, giving you something.
This is my
yeah.
shot.
You knew about her, obviously, like you.
No, I had no clue who she was.
But
I
she
knew,
was coming asking
right,
for you.
I knew where she was from.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, if I don't take
That's
this,
my in.
Right.
Yeah.
what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why not?
Why not?
And I think, and I'll say this, is that we're afraid of the word no.
Yeah.
It's a word.
Yeah.
And it holds as much weight as you'll give to it. So if you know,
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
that's what it's going to do to you.
Yeah.
But if you hear no, and you're like, cool, no problem.
I'll go find the yes.
I'll go find the yes.
Yeah.
We get so afraid of those two little letters that it hinders us from doing so much.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And to anyone that's listening or to anyone that, comes across this, is that once you break through being afraid of the word no, you get to do anything that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that is, though, that like stops people? Like, what's the no? Like, what? Like, why do
No, I
so
think they're
many people?
literally
Is it just like
scared.
fear
They're
of like
just fear.
rejection?
Yeah.
Like, and how they
Because we, as people, we
do they think
put,
no judges? I don't know.
No, I think as people, we put ourselves that we're so much bigger sometimes, and that we're expecting the yes.
But yes, yeah.
Expect the no. Because when you get the yes, it's
You'll be
going to
so
surprise
much
you.
more
So better.
excited.
Yeah, that's true.
We go in expecting the yes, right?
And then we
You can go in confident.
fail.
You
Yeah.
can go in confident. You can go in this. You can go in that. But sometimes if you go in expecting the no and give every bit of energy as if you were getting the yes, when you get the yes, it's going to feel that much more
Yeah.
better.
Because then when you get the no, you're already expecting the no. You're like,
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we'll
Yeah.
move on and go find the yes. But that's that's interesting. I never looked at it like that, but I think that that's a great point. Is to expect the no, or just don't expect the yes. I guess because then you won't. It's like almost like you should never like assume that somebody's gonna like do something for you, you know, like don't like never assume that like people are gonna give you the same like amount of time that you give them, because
Right.
then you'll always be let down, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, like don't expect the
Yeah.
yes, and you'll always, you'll never be let down,
Yeah.
essentially. What could we expect next from Mike Press?
What can you expect next from Mike Press? I got a new porno coming out now. I think
Give it up for Mike.
I think that what you can expect from me is you're going to be seeing my work more through other people for once. Instead of me being in front, you're going to see me through other people.
oh, that's
How?
cool.
So just a lot of people that I'm shooting for.
Okay, cool.
And that's more exciting to me now.
Cool.
Is being behind the
Nice.
camera and creating.
And like, from your perspective, do you think like when people are watching a video, they could be like, "Oh, Mike Press did that."
It's starting to get to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
It's starting
that's
to get to
really
that,
cool.
Which has been fun.
Yeah, that is
Nice.
fun because that's I guess as being
Like
behind
your
the
own
camera,
style.
that's what you want. You
Yeah.
know, you want that different aspect of it, and someone to watch it and be like, oh, that's Mike Press. Because how else are they gonna? Yeah, they know it's Dave on, but like, how are they gonna know that that's Mike? Shooting the content.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast on a whim. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. It was fun, and I wish you guys the best of luck on some real shit, because the fact that you guys have a good thing going.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next episode. Twins out. Let's go.